Hey, Bias Pixel. Hey, Curious Pixel. Last time, I want to know about the villains and the transformation in Mahou Tsukai Precure. Sure, let me briefly talk about the villains first. The reason why I was so vague about the villains is because there's actually two factions that appear in the show. The villains for the first half of the show is the evil wizard Doc Roxy and his four subordinates. The villains for the second half of the show is the chaotic deity Deusmast and his four minions. Do you remember about the message of the show that I mentioned a while back? I think so. Was it about the villains represent isolation and manipulation? Yep, so I interpreted the story for the first half of the show to be about isolation and the second half to be about manipulation. The story about the villains were decently fun, and I like that they supplemented the message of the show regarding the importance of communication, but I still don't think they're interesting enough to talk about in detail, so that's pretty much it from me, honestly. Oh, that's a bummer. I did want to know more, but I guess we could just move on to the transformation then. Sure thing, let's go over the basic transformation then. We already discussed that Mirai and Riko transform into Precures. Mirai turns into Cure Miracle and Riko turns into Cure Magical. To transform, the two have to hold hands with Mufurin. The interesting thing about the Precures is that during the search for the emerald, the girls find various other Linkle Stones that grant them special powers. Throughout the show, they find 13 Linkle Stones in total, and 6 of them grant different forms. And man, I love the design for each style. Like, they're so colorful and fun to look at. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. You could show me each style and tell me about them. Yeah, okay, sure thing. The first form is the Diamond style, which you've already seen. The second form that they obtain is the Ruby style, which strengthens their physical combat skills and enables them to use fire. I personally love this form for their designs, especially Cure Miracle's design. The third form is the Sapphire style, which gives them the power to fly. I honestly wasn't a fan of the design when I first saw it, but while I was drawing the pixel art, their hairstyle really grew on me, and now I really like it. The fourth form is the Topaz style, which each Precure gains control of 2 orbs that could transform into anything. I personally really like Cure Magical's designs for this. It's hard to tell my low-res pixel art, but her outfit is dessert themed. Like there's a flan on her head, and there's a whipped cream lacing around her dress. So it's really cute in my opinion. The design for each style are very different. Yeah, I really appreciate how great and unique each design looks. I got hyped every time the next episode preview mentioned the new style. And the battles for this show never got stale for me because there were so many different ways the Breakers fought. And before I forget, I should mention that Cure Miracle and Magical have wands called the Linkle Sticks. By equipping the 7 other Linkle Stones onto it, they can cast various spells that allows them to teleport, create barriers, freeze enemies, and etc etc. That's pretty cool. Like, it adds a lot of variety in how they fight, along with the different forms that they have. Okay, I see. Well, how about Kotoha's transformation? Kotoha transforms into a Cure Felice by equipping the emerald into the Linkle Smart Book. Felice apparently means to be blessed, happy, and or lucky in Italian. I suppose that's why her catchphrase when she transforms is "Let all life be blessed." For her wand, Felice morphs the touch pen of her Linkle Smart Book into the Flower Echo Wand. It functions as a microphone, which I think is really random. I mean, it's a fun idea for a toy though. And finally, there's the Alexandrite style. All 3 Precures could transform into the style by holding hands with Mufurin while it is equipping the Alexandrite. One thing that I really like is how all 3 have wings as part of their design. Even though this form is the final form that the girls obtain, they pretty much only use it to use their final attack for the second half of the show. This is actually a good idea in my opinion, because all of the other styles have screen time throughout the entire show. And with that, that's it for the transformation and everything I have to say about Mahou Tsukai Precure. I see. It sounded like a show that I'll watch when I want something lighthearted and simple. Based on what you said, it sounded like I shouldn't expect too much out of the story against the villains because the show focuses on the growth of the girls and them building their friendship. Well, I'll check it out someday. Okay, bye, Spexel. I'll come by again when I'm curious about another show. Take care. Okay, sounds good. See ya!